Kingdom AC power systems. UK power levels. The United Kingdom uses 230 volt power supply that run at 50 Hz and use a G-type power plug. The UK population is 64,100,000 in 2013. Since 1970, despite an additional 6.5 million people, the United Kingdom have consumed a lot less energy than they did in 1970. The reason for this is simple. We are more efficient at using and producing energy. With the help of new devices like smart meters, households are now using 12% less, while businesses are using 60% less power. The chart on the side shows this. UK population industries. One of the biggest changes in the energy scene is the rapid decline of the use of coal and fuels made from coal. The void left by the fall in coal use has mostly been filled by the rise of use of natural gas and somewhat the increase in electricity use. The national grid is the high voltage electricity power transmission network in Great Britain, connecting power stations and major substations and ensuring that electricity generated anywhere in England, Scotland, and Wales can be used to satisfy demand elsewhere. The following figures, taken from 2005 7-year statements, show the maximum demand of electricity, annual electricity used in the UK, capacity, number of large power stations, the length of the grid, the length of the 400 kV grid and the 275 kV grid and the 132 kV grid. In 2013, the construction of the 2.2 gigawatt undersea western HVDC link from Scotland to North Wales started, planned to be operational in 2016. This is the first major non-alternating current grid link within the United Kingdom. Because of the power loss associated with this north-to-south flow, the effectiveness and efficiency of new generation capacity is significantly affected by its location. This chart shows the breakdown of sources of electricity used in the United Kingdom. As you can tell that we used to use coal for most of our power generation, now we're using a lot of natural gas. In 2011, 40% of the United Kingdom's electricity was produced by gas, 30% by coal, 19% by nuclear power, and 4.2% by wind, hydro, biofuels, and wastes. The United Kingdom wholesale electricity price in 2013 is about £48 per megawatt hour. Major generation construction projects in the United Kingdom. In January 2008, the United Kingdom government gave the go-ahead for a new generation of nuclear power stations to be built. The construction costs are estimated to be about £24.5 billion. Hinkley Point C, in conjunction with Sizewell C, could contribute 13% of UK electricity in the early 2020s.
USA AC generation. The population of the USA is 318.9 million people. The country used 4,686,400,000 megawatts in 2013. The average consumption per person is 1,683 watts per person per year. USA is a country located in the continent of North America between Canada and Mexico. The United States uses 120 volt, 60 Hz electricity. They also considered converting to 220 volt for home use, but they figured it would be too much money due to all the 120 volt electrical appliances people had. Instead, they made it so that 240 volt would come into a person's house, where it would split into 120 volts to power most appliances. Certain household appliances such as electronic stove and electronic clothes dryer use 240 volt power. Converters and transformers change the voltage but does not change the frequency. As a result, a motor in 50 Hz appliances will move slightly faster than one in 60 Hz appliances. Also, a clock in 50 Hz will move faster than one in 60 Hz. USA households use 60 Hz frequency. Most modern electronic equipment like computers, printers, DVD players, and stereos are usually not affected by the differences in frequencies. In 2014, the United States generated about 4,093 billion kilowatt hours of electricity. About 60% of the electricity was generated from fossil fuels. coal with 39%, natural gas with 27%, nuclear with 19%, and 6% with hydropower. Other renewables came in at 7%, as you can see below, with biomass, geothermal, wind, solar, petroleum, and other gases. In 2013, the average annual electricity consumption for a U.S. residential utility customer was 10,908 kilowatt hours, on average of 909 kilowatt hours per month. Louisiana had the highest annual consumption at 15,270 kilowatt hours. Hawaii with the lowest at 6,176 kilowatt hours. New York City is tapping the vast resources of an upstate reservoir system to commission a new hydroelectric plant. The plant is projected to generate 14 megawatts of electric power, which the city would sell to New York Power Grid. That is enough to provide the electricity on average to 6,000 homes. This would be the largest hydroelectric development in New York State in over two decades. The city is building the $72 million plant, which is expected to produce about $2 million a year in revenue from the sale of electricity. Construction is scheduled to begin in 2016. By not using coal or oil to generate electricity, it is estimated that the plant would avoid the emission of 25,620 metric tons of greenhouse gases annually, the equivalent of removing 5,400 cars from the road. Differences in UK and the USA. In the USA, coal is the leading energy source used to manufacture electricity, whereas in the UK, natural gas is the leading energy source. USA consumed 4,686,400,000 megawatts of electricity in 2013, when in the UK they used 360 million megawatts in 2013. The average price of electricity from wholesale in the USA is about $45 per milliwatt hour. In the UK, it is about 48 pounds per milliwatt hour. In the USA, the electricity comes into your home at 120 and 60 hertz. But in the UK, electricity comes into your home at 230 volt, 50 hertz. In the UK, is G-style plugs. In the USA, is A or B-style plugs. Neutral is A or is black or blue in the UK and is white in the US. Ground is green or yellow in the UK, or bare and green in the US.
Similarities in UK and USA. Both countries use overhead and underground lines to distribute the electricity. Both coal and natural gas are the two leading energy sources used to create energy in both countries. Both countries are heading more towards a green way of producing electricity by adding more and more renewable energy sources every year.